Welcome back to Rebuilding the Vegas Golden Knights with Mitch Marner. If you haven't caught part 1 and 2, you can find those on my channel. This will be part 3, season number 4, as we chase that elusive Stanley Cup. Starting out the draft this year, I want to get a little crazy with it. The second round pick that we have, 62nd overall, I really don't see a target for us in the actual draft, but I do still want to try and pick up a prospect with it, trading it away to get somebody in. The third round pick, I actually do have somebody in mind. It's a low 80s. I think he's like 84th ranked prospect, so I need to move up a little bit from 94. So I've targeted the Montreal Canadiens. The 80th overall pick should give us plenty of leeway to get that done and pick up a prospect. He is a top 6 forward. He was picked up in the first round in 2028. Sniper, 73 overall, so he's relatively close. He should have some pretty good value, and he should continue to gain value as he gets a little bit better. Sitting over a 5th round pick in a couple years just to get this through, and this should be enough. Not quite. I'm going to add in a 7th round pick, and that will be enough to get it done. So we're going to move back in now, and I'm just going to show you guys this pick that I want to make at 80 overall. Now, he's a medium elite potential, so he is a couple years away being in the 3rd round, but I think it is worth the pick. It's going to be Schlegel. It's going to be a medium elite defensive defenseman on the right-hand side. I don't think he factors into the actual rebuild, but it's a prospect. You know, I think we've really depleted our prospect pool, so I wanted to bring that up a little bit more in this draft. And so I'm going to go ahead and select him. We don't have any other draft picks. We've traded all of them away to make this team better now. So we are going to go ahead and sim through the rest of this draft, and then we'll pick it up on the re-sign period. We're coming into the re-sign period with just over $7 million to spend. There's a couple guys we want to bring back, but they're relatively cheap guys. They're going to be on the bottom side, the depth of our lineup. So most of our core is locked up this year. So it should be a pretty good year for us just progressing forward. Looking through who we want to bring back, Podkolzin, Nemestikov, Miramonov, and Kolesar are our big ones. I think those are the only 4 guys on our main roster right now that actually need to be brought back. They're all 80 overall. I think we probably need to select, a few of these guys to bring back and then take the rest of our money into free agency. When I'm looking at the ones that I want, Miramonov, he's an 80 overall. He plays both sides. He is only looking for 1.9 as a depth defender. I don't hate that deal. I'm going to try and bring it down a little bit, maybe take a 1.75. But I mean, 3 years, that is plenty enough of term for a 30-year-old, and I feel like this should get it done for him. So I'll send that over. He does want an extension, so that definitely helps. The other guys here, Podkolzin, Nemestikov, and Kolesar, these are all very similar players for me. So these are going to be depth forwards in our lineup. Podkolzin at an 80, 27 years old. He's the youngest one here, and I believe he is also the cheapest one. So we'll go through these 3. We'll take a look at what they want. So he wants 1.8 for 2 years. Nemestikov wants 1.15 for 2 years, so that's actually cheaper than Podkolzin wants. And then Kolesar wants 1.5. So I think I would look to prioritize the youth here, but at 35 years old, that's pretty cheap, and he brings some veteran leadership to our team. My question is, if we just go out into free agency, is there going to be somebody here that we can get on a cheaper deal like we did last year where he kind of stuck around? He was an 85 overall. We do still need at least one of these guys back right now just for depth. So we just have to select through, which one of these guys we want. And I think my choice is going to be Podkolzin. I just think he brings a little bit more to the table in terms of youth, and I'm really worried. Nemestikov's already fallen off 5 overall since last year when we signed him. I'm worried that he will continue to fall if we do bring him back. So Podkolzin does agree to a 1.725. I think that's a really good deal for a depth forward for us. Other than that, I'm going to let both Kolesar and Nemestikov roll, let them go out into their own free agency, and then we're going to jump forward a couple days for Miramonov and see if he agrees. The rest of these guys, Jordan Staal at 39, I'm just going to let go. I don't think he's what we want right now in that role. Lavoie also at 27 years old now, at 79, he's really not progressing very much at all. So I think we're time to let him go as well, and we'll look to fill those roles in free agency. Rest of these guys I'm just going to go through, and they are just depth piece AHL guys, so really don't need to have that on camera, but I'll go ahead and clean everything up, and then we'll move forward over to the free agency period. And a few days later, Miramonov is going to agree, so that's going to wrap up our re-sign period. Looking through our team before free agency starts, I think we're going to be in a very similar position that we were last year, looking for center depth, probably somebody who can win faceoffs, provide some physicality down at the bottom of our lineup. In left wing, we definitely need one more option on that left wing side, probably a 3rd line left winger. Very similar to what Nemestikov did for us last year. Going to be looking for somebody pretty cheap. Right wing, I think we're really stacked over here. Marner, Stone, Samoskevich, and Holtz will probably play on the left side, play that fourth line. Podkolzin, and then maybe one more depth wing for us just to bring in. I mean, Demek is going to be fine, I think, at 79 overall. At 25 years old, I'm not opposed to having him as our depth option, but maybe if there's somebody that's cheap and good. Our defense is going to be pretty much set right now. Korchinski, Theodore, Hannafin, Reinbacher are our top four, a really good top four, as Korchinski's up to a 90 now. Cormier, Korzak are going to be our bottom pair. I would maybe take an upgrade there if there is somebody available. Just at 81 and 82, I think we could maybe get a few more overall up on one of those positions, but I'm not too worried about it. That's our bottom pair, and it's still pretty good and young, 26 and 27. And then our 7D, Miramonov at 80 overall, I think that is fine. And then, of course, our goalies are set. Waltz at an 89, Schmidt at an 82, I think that's fine. I would take maybe an upgrade on the backup side. An 82 is a little bit lower than I'd like, like an 83 or 84, but again, I'm not too worried about that at 1.6. That's a good contract for us. And yeah, I mean, we'll take a look at free agency period. Those are the roles I'm looking to fill, and then we'll probably circle around and see what contracts look like for some of these guys. I'm not sure what we're able to fit in here, and we might have to prioritize one or two of our defense pieces. Korchinski is probably number one priority for me, but Reinbacher is here as well. They're both RFAs though, so we have a little bit of leverage there. But let's jump into free agency and take a look at what they have to offer us this year. And this appears to be a pretty loaded free agency class. Clayton Keller, Logan Cooley, William Eklund are the top three free agents on the market. All three 90 overall, all three pretty young still. Perreault is here, Quinn is here, Barbashev is here. That'd be a fun option to bring back. Still doing, pretty well in an 88 overall, but he does want $9 million, and we only have a 5.3 to work with. So these are probably guys that aren't options for us right now, but they are. This is a very good free agency class. Zykov is here, 21 years old. Looks like the Senators are letting him test free agency. I imagine he's a restricted free agent. Yeah, and then Kulikov as well. These are both guys that are restricted and would take a lot of draft capital to pry them away. So we'll scroll down the list a little bit, get to more of an affordable range for us, see what it has to offer. Again, looking on that left wing side and on center depth as well. I mean, Paul Cotter is here. He does fit pretty well. I'm not opposed to Paul Cotter at all, but I'll take a look and see at an 86 overall. It's not too bad at a 5.4. But we'll take a look. I'll follow up with our options in those positions. And I think the first person I'm going to offer that wing position to is Frank Vetrano. He's a sniper. He only wants 3.2. He can play both sides, left and right wing. He probably fits in on the left side for us. 84 overall, I think this is a pretty good contract. I'm going to bump it down to a probably $3 million deal, maybe even a little bit lower than that, maybe like a 2.9. Nobody else is offering him, so we might be able to bring him in pretty cheap. And then I'm going to be scanning through again, looking for centers now, looking for that fourth line. I am prioritizing faceoffs like I have been. Mikael Granlund is here. 80 faceoffs is not too bad. Newhook has 79. Jason Dickinson only 75. So yeah, there's some options here. I'll go through. Malkin's still kicking at 41 years old. And there are definitely some cheap options here. 2.3 for Max Domi. He would be fun. Add a little bit of a buzzsaw to that bottom line. But yeah, I mean, I might skip forward a couple days on the free agency period just to see if we get Vetrano and then circle back with how much cap space we have after that. But there are some RFAs here as well. Obviously, these are younger guys, so they do have a little bit more room to progress, which I would like to bring in a young guy, obviously. But am I able to pull them away from their team? I'm not sure. So we'll probably be working with about $2.5 million after the Vetrano contract, so we might have to get a little bit further down the list before we make a signing. A contract that I really just can't pass up offering right now. Alex Winberg is here. He's going to want under $2 million at an 82 overall. He could play that fourth line for us. He doesn't have the highest face-off percentage, but nobody else is offering, so I might be able to get this at something like a 1.8. So I'm going to send that over. So we have two contracts sent over, and I think they're both within, signing those contracts, and those are pretty good contracts for both of those guys. So I'll advance a couple days out, see if we get either of them or both of them, and then we'll circle back in. And Vetrano is signing, so he can play that wing side. 34 years old, is a little bit older, but like I said, he's filling that Nemestikov role almost exactly for us. Maybe a little bit more scoring. And Winberg is here as well. So that's our two depth four pieces. That will leave us a tiny bit of money, $2.2 million. I don't think that's anybody, very good, but I'll take a look at two-way contracts and see if there's any young guys that we can bring into our team to make us a little bit better. And yeah, I think that'll pretty much be it for this year's free agency period, and our team is looking stacked as it was last year. Looking at contract extensions, Korchinski is my number one priority here at 90 overall. I think I can get him pretty cheap. He wants 11.1. I think I can go to a 9.4 if I offer a no move clause in year number 3. He's still really interested in this contract. I do have about $15 million to hand out with cap extension for next year. So I think that we can get this done, and that will really help us moving forward. So I'm going to send that over to him, and he immediately accepts. So 9.4 for Korchinski is going to be a steal for the next years after that. Reinbacher is my next priority. Would be great to lock up these two guys at pretty cheap. He also is relatively cheap. We have $7 million left. See if we can offer any no move clauses. We can. Obviously, I would do that in a heartbeat at 23 years old. So how low can we go on his contract and get him to accept? You know, can we get him at a 5.5, which would be ridiculously cheap? He's going to take a couple days to look at that one. I'm going to circle back with him afterwards. Ridley Gregg, he might be a casualty of this. He wants 5.4. We might just have to hold out. He's an RFA, so we have a little bit of leverage there. But yeah, I think those two defensemen are our main priorities moving forward. We have options on offense. If we lose those two guys, our D gets really, really thin. And Reinbacher is back, so two great contracts there. I feel like we've had really good contract luck in this rebuild. So Greek is the odd man out here. He does want 5.4. We only have 2.4 to offer next year. So we'll have to wait for the next year to roll around, and the salary cap will probably increase a little bit. We might have to ship some guys out, maybe get a little creative on the clauses here to make it worth it for him. I think this is still possible for us, and we can keep this core locked down for a very long time. Other than that, though, we have some depth pieces that are going to need contracts. Again, we'll just have to wait on those guys moving forward. But I think signing those two defensemen to the deals that we did at 9.4 and 5.5, 5.5 especially, is ridiculous. I think those are two amazing contracts, and they will age really well for us moving forward. And here's our team for year number 4, and we are looking stacked as ever. Boldy, Eichel, and Marner on that top line. Marner up to a 96 overall now. Stone, Hurdle, Dorfiev on the second line. So pretty much the same two top lines. Vetrano, Grieg, and Samoskevich on the third line. Vetrano ended up going down 2 overall since we signed him, so that is the risk of signing older guys. I would not be opposed to trading him away and upgrading this position in the trade market. Holtz, Winberg, and Podkolzin on the fourth line. I really like this fourth line. It's got size, it has a little bit of scoring, it has a little bit of, depth for us, and I think this is a really good fourth line. The defense is getting even better. Korchinski, Theodore, Reinbacher, Hanifin are top 4. Cormier and Korzak both 82 overall. But, I mean, Korchinski at a 90, Reinbacher up to an 88. So these are two young, good defensemen that should keep getting better. Really surprised that Reinbacher doesn't have any abilities right now, but that is a really good defense core. Wallstedt and Smith are our goalie tandem. Wallstedt still elite. Has not got a gold X Factor yet, but I do think he's going to be really good for us. So we're still rolling at a really high level right now. We'll run through the regular season. We'll stop before the trade deadline. Like I said, I'll take a look, and I might just watch the record as well. And Vetrano could be a position that we look to upgrade this year. And right before the trade deadline, we are once again at the top of the division. 83 points, 41, 21, and 1. We're far and away the best team right now. Oilers at 69 points, Kings at 64 points. They are the top 2 and 3 seeds. The Rangers, the Panthers, and the Stars all lead their divisions as well. So we are the lowest, second lowest division leader in the league right now. But we're doing really well. I mean, 41 wins, 21 losses. That is pretty good for the year. Take a look at our stats right now and see if there's any glaring weaknesses, any glaring issues we need to address at the trade deadline. I do have some ideas, I have some thoughts, but we'll see what we look like first. Marner, Eichel, and Boldy are all having terrific years on the first line. 75 for Marner, 74 points for Eichel, 73 for Boldy. 30 goals for Jack Eichel, 28 for Marner, 27 for Boldy. This line is just spreading the wealth out and doing a really good job of scoring. Stone is at 46 points in 62 games. Hurdle, 46 points in 63 games. Dorfiev at 44 points. Not a bad year out of that second line either. Korchinski at 39 points leads all of our defensemen. Theodore right behind him at 38 points. Grieg's having a pretty good year with 36. And it looks like Alexander Holtz is probably having his best year of his career so far. 29 points in 63 games, 7 goals, 22 assists. That's not bad at all for a fourth line winger for us. Samoskevich at 29 points. Winberg, 28. 25 for Reinbacher. And here is Vetrano. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. The upgrade could be, I mentioned this before, but he has regressed even more to an 82. 21 points, 13 goals though, so he is scoring pretty well. 8 assists, but I do think we need to upgrade on either side. Semiskevich also only an 83 overall, although he is younger, so I'm more inclined to keep him on that side. But I think we do need a third line scoring option for us. But other than that, I think the team is doing really, really well, and I'm really happy with their production so far. And with the way the third line's set up, Greg can play center or left wing, Semiskevich can play right wing or center, and then we have Vetrano can play either side. So we really are looking for any scoring option. It could be a center, a left wing, or a right wing, and we could make it work with Semiskevich and Grieg. Looking at our goalie this year, it looks like Wallsted's having a little bit of a rough year, an 892 and a 322, but he is picking up wins, 31 wins. Looks like Schmidt's having a great backup year, 924 and a 218. He's picked up 10 wins in the 16 starts that he's had, so he's having a fantastic backup year for us. I don't think, obviously, we're not going to move Wallsted, but he is having a little bit of a down year overall in stats. And the first deal of the deadline we're going to try and swing is a big one. Adam Fantilli is here, $4.4 million for the next 3 years, 87 overall. He's only 24 years old, so he is really good. He projects on that second line. I think it's somebody that we could really use in the future. Mark Stone's getting older, Tomas Hertl's getting older, and he's signed for a few years. 3 years is pretty good. Semiskevich is somebody that I like, but 83 overall at 3.75, that's just something I'm willing to give up right now. Moving that medium elite potential prospect that we drafted last year in the third round, and a third round pick as well. This might not be enough to get it done, but I think we have a good foundation here that we can use to add on a couple picks. Throwing in a second round pick a few years down the road and a 6th round pick next year, we'll get this trade done. We will bring in Adam Fantilli, a big performer for us. He's going to be a power forward. I think he lines up really well with what we need. We need more power forward. We need more physicality. Matt Boldy and Puck Colson, I think, are the only power forwards on our team, and Puck Colson on the 4th line. So that's a huge upgrade for us right now. We'll take a look at how our team stacks out, but a huge addition for now and for the future. And looking to bring in some depth now, I'm actually going to bring back Brett Howden, 81 overall. He's got signed for a couple years and only $1.3 million. I think he will fill in on that bottom line or any position depth-wise that we need him to. Stenberg's going to go over. He's just a young prospect that I picked up a 2-way deal last year, and a 4th round pick and a 5th round pick from Minnesota. So just a pick swap. I think this is a good deal for us. And here is our team post-trade deadline. I am going to slot Fantilli into that third line center role. Ridley Greig's going to move over to the left side, and Vetrano will move to the right side. Still a little bit of a weakness over there with Vetrano. Holtz, Winberg, and I'm going to put Brett Howden on the left side. He's just a little bit better right now than Puck Colson is, but I like Puck Colson, so I might put him back in here just for a little bit more size. The defense is unchanged as we didn't make any trades there, but we're pretty much ready. I think the biggest weakness of our team right now just is this third line winger position, but I'm hoping Fantilli and Greig on this third line can bring it up enough to make it work. And here at the end of the regular season, we have ran away with the division, ended with 107 points. The next closest was the Oilers at 93. Take a look at the entire league, see where everybody stacked up. So the Stars took the President Trophy at 124, Panthers 123, Blackhawks, again, their rebuild is going great at 110, and then we were the 4th best team in the league. Colorado rounds out the top 5 at 105. Taking a look at our point producers for this year, looks like Marner is going to lead the team again. I think this is the 3rd year in a row Marner's led. 93 points in 82 games. Eichel with 87. Boldy almost got a point per game. 80 points in 82 games. 51 assists, 29 goals. Tomas Hertl at 57 points in 82 games. Mark Stone 56. Korchinski had a really good year. 53 points in 81 games. 52 for Theodore, so 1 point behind him. The 2 defensemen on the top line are putting up pretty good numbers. Dorofeev at 51 points, 24 goals, 27 assists. Adam Fantilli, 47 points and only 79 games. A little bit under what I'd like for him to score, but he was on the third line. But I think he's a good second line option for us in the future. Ridley Greig, 44 points. Winberg, 33. Holtz at 33. So I think definitely the best year of Holtz's career. Take a look at our goalie. I believe Wallstead struggled a little bit. Yeah, 898, 301. He did go up a little bit since the trade deadline, but we need him to turn it on in the playoffs. He ended up with 40 wins, though, 21 losses, 3 overtime losses. Still a pretty good year in terms of the record, but the goals, the save percentage, and the goals against is not good enough if we're going to go into the playoffs and make a run. We will be taking on the Nashville Predators in the first round, so we're going to go ahead and send the first 3 games. See what we can do in the first 3 games. We are going to win game number 1, 3-2. So that's a really good start. We are going to win Game 2 and Game 3. So up 3-0 on the Nashville Predators. Hopefully we can close it out in a sweep and get our boys some rest before round 2. And we can. 4-2, we are going to sweep the Nashville Predators 4-0. So we'll sim forward a few days here and see who we face in round 2. Round 2 will be a rematch of the conference finals last year. It's going to be the Edmonton Oilers. They're still going to be good. So it is going to be a hard matchup for us, but we'll go ahead and send the first 3 games, see where we stack up. Game number 1 is going to be an overtime loss. Game number 2 will be an overtime win. And game number 3 will be an overtime loss. We need to bring it back for game number 4. We definitely don't want to be down 3-1 again like we were last year in the conference finals. And we do. A big 6-3 win in game number 4. A huge game 5 here. We'd love to take control of the series. And we have another huge win, 8-2 in that one. Can we close it out in 6 games, or will the Oilers push a game 7? They will push. So we're going to go into game 7 now. We'll go ahead and sim the entire game, jump in if we need to. But let's see if we can get through the second round. Here we are in the sim of game 7, and the Knights are going to have a power play early in this one. They are not going to score in it. The Edmonton penalty kill holds. We are doing pretty well in shots right now. It's 7-5 in favor of the Knights, now 8-5. Under 10 minutes and no score so far in this one. We are under 3 minutes left to go in the first period, and we have no score. Looks like we're going to take a 0-0 tie into the second. We are outshooting the Oilers just slightly. It's 12-10 now, 13-10, as we head into the second period of this one. The first goal of the game is going to be scored by Connor McDavid for the Edmonton Oilers. That's going to put them up 1-0. Just under 10 minutes left to go in the second period now. We really would like to tie this one up before we get to the third. And with 3 minutes left to go in the second period, Mark Stone puts a goal, and that's going to tie us up going into the third period now. That is a huge goal for Mark Stone. He scored some big ones last year in the playoffs as well, so his playoff performance continues to be exceptional in our rebuild. Going into the third period now, Jack Eichel is going to put one in early in the third period, and now we're back on the power play. Just under 15 minutes left, and we're not going to score, but Edmonton has a power play now. If they tie it up, we will jump in, but I'm just watching the score pretty heavily right now. They did kill it off. We're about nearing 10 minutes left to go, and the Knights are going to have a power play. A goal here would be huge to build on the lead, but they can't get it done. Edmonton kills that one off. We're under 5 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to jump and just watch this game. I'm not going to play the game. I just want to watch the final 5 minutes as we try and hold on to a 1-goal lead. Under 4 minutes left to go. The pass is going to go up to Matt Boldy. Takes a huge shot. Rebound to Eichel. He can't get a shot away. And now it's McDavid. He's going to be their best chance to score in this game. Time is ticking away, though. He passes up to Wallman. Just at 3 minutes now. They're going to have to pull the goalie pretty soon. Draisaitl gets shouldered up, but gets the puck back. A hot pass goes all the way back to Hofer in net. Up to Bouchard. Big stretch patches to Voy. Wallman takes a hit to move it over to McDavid. He crosses the blue line. Now Draisaitl tries to get a shot away, but he gets caught from behind by Matt Boldy. And we're at 1 minute left to go, trying to hold on to this lead. Boldy to Marner. Big shot. Big save by Hofer. With 55 seconds left on the clock. Looks like Draisaitl and Connor McDavid are doing their thing in the playoffs, but Marner and Eichel are on the leaderboards as well. It's going to be Hurdle versus McMichael in the faceoff dot, and it's going to be won by the Oilers, picked up by Nurse over to Bimstrom. He's going to cross the blue line with the puck, try and feed it out in front, and Nurse gets a huge one-timer away, but a big save by Wallstead with the glove. That one looked pretty dangerous as it was going across. 46 seconds left, and the Oilers have pulled the goalie with the offensive zone faceoff. It's going to be Hurdle versus McMichael for part 2. This one's run back by Hurdle. Theodore's going to put it up. This time to Hurdle. Gets swarmed in the corner. Nurse now up top to Zamula. McMichael takes a big hit right at the dots. Dorofeev's going to pick it up. Try and feed it out in front, but now Frederick picks it off. And a huge save by Wallstead. That's the glove again. A bad turnover there by Dorofeev. Put it right into the middle of the ice, and the Oilers can't convert. 31 seconds left. It's going to be Hurdle versus McMichael again in the faceoff dot. One back to Dorofeev, over to Korchinski. Another dangerous pass by Dorofeev out in front. Stone's going to carry it forward for the empty net, right off the bar. Huge save by the post. Up to Draisaitl now, tries to get it across, but Hurdle picks it off. Now it's Dorofeev for the empty net, and he will sneak it into the left post, and that one will do it. The Knights will advance to the conference finals for the second year in a row, this time eliminating the Oilers in the second round. So the Knights will be in the conference finals for the second year in a row. This time it will be the Colorado Avalanche and Nathan MacKinnon in the conference finals. We're going to send the first 3 games as we have been doing. Hopefully we can jump out to a good lead in the series. We're going to take a 2-1 lead. Going into game number 4 was a 2-0 loss, a shutout in the first game, 5-3 win, and then a 5-2 win. Zooming out game number 4, and the Avalanche are going to tie it up. Huge game number 5 once again in this series. And we put it away in overtime. A 2-1 win. Can we close it out in game number 6 and make our way to the Stanley Cup final? We can. And it will be the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup final this year. Bruce Cassidy's happy. That was his goal for the year. It's going to be a huge series for us, Toronto Maple Leafs. Mitch Marner facing his old team. You couldn't write a better storyline. Let's go ahead and sim the first 3 games and get this underway. A 4-0 win, a 4-2 win, and an 8-6 win. We are on the cusp of winning the Stanley Cup against Mitch Marner's former team. We're going to go ahead and sim to the next game, try and put this one away in a sweep of the Toronto Maple Leafs in the Stanley Cup final. Underway now in game number 4. So far, not a lot going on. The Maple Leafs do have a power play, about 15 minutes left in the first period, but they do not score on it. Another power play back-to-back. We definitely don't want to be doing this, but we do kill it off. Penalty kill holding strong. That's 2 penalty kills in short session. And then Frank Vetrano, the huge addition this year, the signing. And then Mitch Marner against his former team on the power play puts us up 2-0 in the first period. Under 5 minutes now, we're going to take a dominating lead into period number 2. Under 2 minutes now, we'll take a big lead into period number 2. It's going to be 2-0. Had a power play at the end of the period. We didn't score on it. Early power play for the Maple Leafs now at 17 minutes. And Mitch Marner will get a shorthanded goal. He is out for revenge on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That puts us up 3-0. Under 10 minutes left now, and we are dominating the shot totals once again, 20-13. And the Maple Leafs are going to score with 3 minutes left to go in the second period. It's going to be Fodor on Wallstead. That puts it 3-1. But going into the third period, we will have a 2-goal lead, and we will watch this one. We're going to jump in towards the end here if we get close, and watch the celebration as the Vegas Golden Knights lift the Stanley Cup. Power play for the Leafs early on in the third period, trying to make this one interesting, but we kill it off. Penalty kill's been good, and we even have a shorthanded goal, so I think we're +1 on the penalty kill. Michelli will make it interesting, though. A goal at 13 minutes is going to cut our lead to 1. Under 5 minutes now, and we're going to jump into this game and watch, see if we can close this one out in a sweep. We have a 1-goal lead right now. We have to hold on for dear life. The Maple Leafs are going to be throwing everything they can at the net to try and get this one tied up before the end of the third. And there is the Stanley Cup coming out of the box in preparation for us to hold on to this lead. Setting it up, we are in Toronto, so it would be an away win for us. And the Leafs will have the big boys on the ice for the face-off. Here's going to be Austin Matthews versus Jack Eichel. One back by the Vegas Golden Knights. Anderson's going to cover. We got a weird camera angle here. I don't know why it switches around, so I'm going to have to remember that. Hits leader in the playoffs. Mark Stone has been absolutely throwing the body at 56. Jack Eichel at 43 as well, up on the leaderboard. So we did get a little physical with it. Eichel is going to win the faceoff back. Korchinski over to Marner. Theodore back to Korchinski. Down low to Marner. He gets shouldered off. Pretty big hit there by Morgan Riley. Up to Nylander. And they're going to push. 50 seconds left on the clock. Tries to get over to Matthews. He does pick it up. Nice. It's a big shot that's saved by Wallstead. And the Leafs have pulled their goalie. Marner up to the red line. Over to Eichel. Tries to get a shot away. Marner's going to get the puck back over to Eichel, and off the outside of the post once again on the empty net. Now it's Anders Lee up the left side of the ice, crosses the blue line, avoids a hit, over to Matthews. Huge save by Wallstead with the left leg, a beautiful kick save. Korchinski's over to Eichel, gets shouldered off. Korchinski now tries to get it up, just gets it over the blue line. Tomas Hertl in for us on the draw, and he will lose it. Nylander picks it up. Doesn't have a lot of time, tries to get it in, but Hertl's going to pass it over to Stone. Stone misses the net, but 5 seconds left. The countdown is beginning. Jake McCabe takes a huge hit trying to get to Michelli. Cross the blue line. One last dumping attempt, and the Vegas Golden Knights have eliminated the Toronto Maple Leafs to win the Stanley Cup final. Mitch Marner, a perfect storyline ending. He eliminates his old team, had a shorthanded goal, had another goal in this game, a 2-goal performance by Mitch Marner to eliminate them. Eichel stays up to pick up the Conn Smythe. He had 13 goals, 14 assists, 27 points in the playoffs, but a huge performance by Jack Eichel, the assistant captain for the Vegas Golden Knights. And here comes the Stanley Cup out onto the ice. Captain Mark Stone will be the first to pick it up, hand it off to him as he lifts it above his head, and the Vegas Golden Knights are Stanley Cup champions once again. And of course, we have to hand the cup off to Mitch Marner. Huge performance from him over the course of the rebuild. He was a team leader in points several times, and he had a great playoff performance to eliminate his former club in the Toronto Maple Leafs. A Stanley Cup championship for Mitch Marner in his career. One final look at the player stats. Jack Eichel did have the best performance here, 27 points. Mitch Marner with a huge playoffs, 25 points in 21 games, 16 assists, 9 goals. Matt Boldy, over a point per game, 22 points in 21 games. Mark Stone had a good playoff performance, 17 points in 21 games. Frank Vetrano, the veteran presence, had a wonderful playoffs for us, 16 points in 21 games. Vintelli with 15. Korchinski leads our defense with 13. Take a look at our goalie. Wallstead did have a wonderful playoffs as well, 919 on the save percentage, a 233 goals allowed. He really turned it on when the playoffs started. I'm going to take a look at the entire league now. Wallstead, of course, did lead the league in wins for the playoffs, and also he led the league in save percentage, a wonderful 919. Freddie Anderson at 901, Blackwood 908, Dostal 905. Goals against average, Freddie Anderson was a 312. He was the Stanley Cup losing goalie this year, a 274 for Blackwood, a 309 for Dostal. And looking at the skater performances, Matthews did have the best playoffs in total, 30 points in 21 games, 14 goals, 16 assists. If the Leafs had gotten it done, he definitely would have been your Conn Smythe winner. Nylander's going to have 29 points, 9 goals, 20 assists for him. Matthew Knies, a great playoffs as well, 28 points in 21 games for the 26-year-old. Then we have Eichel, Marner, Boldy. Michelli had a really good playoffs as well at a point per game. Marty Necas here at 20 points in 19 games. But that is the playoff performers. That will take a look at the awards one last time for the series. Of course, the Stanley Cup goes back to Vegas for the second time in their team history. Take a look at the individual awards. Art Ross is going to go to Sam Reinhart. Hart also going to go to Sam Reinhart. Makar is back on top with the Norris, taking it from Fox. Lady Byng is going to go to Sam Reinhart. Tuomala is going to be the Calder Trophy winner for the Dallas Stars. Conn Smythe will go to Jack Eichel. Vezina Trophy to Vasilevsky. Jennings is going to go to Ottinger. Bill Masterton to Ryan Pulock. Jack Adams is going to go to Dean Evanson in Columbus. Selfie is going to go to Claremont. Ted Lindsay to Barkov. And the Rocky Richard to Leon Draisaitl. And that will do it for the series, putting Mitch Marner on the Vegas Golden Knights. He did end up winning the Stanley Cup. He had some great playoff performances. He led the team in regular season points several times. If he goes like this, I think the Vegas Golden Knights will be more than happy with what Mitch Marner brings to their team, winning a Stanley Cup, eliminating his former team, having a huge playoff performance, huge regular season performance. If you liked the video, make sure to give me a like, and if you didn't check out the rest of the series, make sure you can check that out as well. My first series up on the channel, Rebuilding the New York Islanders with Matthew Schaefer and the draft picks they acquired in the 2025 draft, is up on my channel. Go ahead and check that one out. And don't forget to subscribe to catch more hockey rebuilds just like this one in the future. Thanks everybody for your support, and I will see you next time.